0001, our 459th interview overall. It's August the 7th, 2024, and we're in Anderson, Indiana at New Horizons United Methodist Church to interview Bill Lawson. And I'd like to thank you for allowing us to come and do this.
Pleased.
Okay, start off with the basics. What is your full name?
My full name is Billy Emery Lawson.
Billy Emery. Now, the Billy or the Emery, were those family names or?
Well, Billy was after the Cherry Pie song.
Okay.
And Emery, I had an uncle Emery.
Okay.
And my father's middle name was Emery also.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what was your highest rank in the military?
I was specialist 4th class. That's corporal.
Okay. Well, Specialist Lawson, where were you born?
Well, I was born on a kitchen table in the farmhouse that I grew up in. That's what I was told. And the same farm is where I learned how to work and just be a person.
Well, I'd reckon. Okay, where's this farm located?
The farm's located on Alexandra Pike, which was Highway 9 at that time, and just about 5 miles north of Anderson.
Okay, all right. Close to where Mickey's living now?
Just across the creek.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so right in that area.
Yeah.
So.
Mick lives on, I think it's 400 North, and you go just past 400 North and it's a big farmhouse on the west side of the road.
Okay, okay. Was this your parents' farm or?
No, this was my grandfather and grandmother's farm.
All right.
And I lived with my mother and father just over the fence from where Mickey's house is.
Okay.
There was a house right there on the corner.
All right.
That's where I grew up till I was 12 years old. And then my mother and father got a divorce, and Grandma Hartman, where the farm was,
Yeah.
Grandma Hartman and my Aunt Nellie and my mother were my parents from then on until I left I got married.
Yeah.
And that was about from age 12 to 22.
Okay.
Lived in that farm.
Let's back up a little bit. You mentioned your mother. What was her name?
My mother's name was Ruth Esther Lawson.
Ruth
Hartman,
Esther.
Hartman Lawson. Yeah.
Hartman Lawson. Okay. And what would you tell folks about her? What was she like? She was a quiet person, an outgoing person?
My mother was a quiet type person.
Yeah.
She was, to me, a good mother. She always had something to eat for us. Our beds were always clean. The house was always clean. And she made sure we got up and got to school and just general stuff.
Yeah.
But she was a fine woman.
Did she ever work outside of the home?
No, she was a homemaker.
She had her hands full.
Yeah, she had 7 children. In other words, I had 6 siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened to her did she stay in that?
My mother?
Yeah, where did she live? Did she stay in that same house?
We stayed in that house until I was 12 years old.
Okay.
And then we moved into grandmother Hartman's house,
Okay.
which is on Alexander Pike.
All right.
And she moved right in with us.
Okay.
She passed away, I would imagine she was about 60 years old, and she passed away.
Okay. Did she go to church?
No, she didn't go to church. My dad, he was not a church-going person.
Yeah.
But Bethany Church always played a big part in our life, because that's where you went for ice cream socials and and it was a social place.
Right.
When I graduated from the 8th grade, a picture in there, we graduated in that church. That was where our ceremony was at. And
Now,
so Bethany
that church, wasn't it up on the hill right next to Killbuck Creek?
Yes, it
on
was.
the Range Line Road?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay.
I learned to swim in that little hole right down there.
Did you
with the
really?
bridge. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it was at that time.
All right.
But that building is gone now, and
Yeah.
they, of course, they have a new church out there.
Yeah.
A really nice church.
You mentioned your father. What was his name?
I'm sorry?
Your father, what was his name?
My father's name was David Emery Lawson,
David Emery Lawson.
and he worked at the Nicholson File.
Okay.
And he was the setup man out there. And so he had a good job, and like I said before, we never wanted for anything. We had everything that we needed.
What kind of a fellow was he?
Well, every Sunday morning he'd read the comics to us. He always had the Chicago paper. He always got the Chicago paper on Saturday evening, and on Sunday morning, he'd read the comics to us. and he was a fisherman. He liked to fish. I never seen him go hunting, and I never seen him own a gun. But that was the main part about my father. He was an easygoing fellow.
Yeah. Do you know how they met?
I'm sorry?
Do you know how your parents met?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I know they went to the same school that I went to together, so they grew up together.
Okay.
So as far as I know, it's just one of those things that happens.
So were you about 12 when they got their divorce?
Yes, I was 12 years old.
Okay, that's the reason you moved.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what happened to your dad?
Well, he remarried and lived here in Anderson until he passed away.
Okay. Okay. And where's he buried?
He's buried in East Maple. Remember we went out and found
yeah.
his grave site. Remember we went out there?
Yes.
No, that's where he's at now.
Okay. And where's your mom?
My mom is married out here in out here on 67.
Memorial Park?
Yeah, in
Okay.
Memorial Park.
All right.
And she's buried with her sister, her mother, and father.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned 6 siblings.
Yeah.
Give me their names and give me a little something about
Well,
what happened
okay.
to them in life.
Leroy was the oldest boy, and he was in the Second War in Marines, and he went clear into the homeland of Japan right after the bombing of Hiroshima. And because of that, why he got leukemia from the radiation, and he has passed away.
Did he go into Hiroshima?
Yes.
Okay.
He went right in after the bomb. Why he went into Hiroshima, and of course they didn't know anything about radiation back then.
Yeah.
You know, that was all new stuff.
Yeah.
And but he came home and he went to work in trucking and that sort of thing, and moved to Texas. And he had a shrimp boat, and he shrimped on the sidelines, and other than that, why, then he passed away down there.
We had an interesting
But
life.
he's buried in Texas.
Yeah. How old was he when he died?
That I'm not sure.
50s, 60s.
70s, somewhere
70s.
along in there. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He wasn't a spring chicken. He's
Yeah.
up there.
Well,
But he was the last member of his military associates that passed away.
okay.
His group.
Okay.
And
Wow.
and then there was
Well, I have one more question.
Okay, go
Did
ahead.
he tell you much about Hiroshima?
he never talked about it.
Never talked at all.
No, he never talked about it. His military life. He gave me his cap overseas cap with the Marine emblem in it, you know. He gave me that. Other than that, that was about it.
Oh, I see.
And but he never talked about it. He was a quiet fellow.
Well,
A lot like my dad was.
you know, people have told us that we'll never get anybody to talk about it, and yet we've had a lot of fellows that just given us great detail about what they saw.
Yeah.
Others just certain things they didn't want to talk about.
Yeah. And he went up through the islands and clear in, like I say, clear into the homeland. So he saw everything.
Do you know what division he was in?
His 2nd Marine Division.
2nd Marine, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can track it by that.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
He was in the 2nd Marine Division. You hear a lot about the 1st Marine Division,
oh yeah,
but not very much about the 2nd Marine Division.
yeah.
But that's where he was at.
I know they were at Okinawa.
Yeah.
They didn't have a major part in Okinawa, but they were there.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of whether or not they were on Iwo Jima.
Well, he went right up through the islands, and which ones he
Wow.
stopped at, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to look that one up. Yeah. Okay. Next one on the list.
Well, Barbara Alice, and Barbara Alice was a blue baby. Now, whether you know about a blue baby or not, but blue baby, and so she passed away after birth. Okay.
Okay.
And then there was Walter Houston, and he lived to be 14, and he passed away.
Oh my.
And
What happened there?
well, of course, after the fact, rules are made. You know, you don't play in the haymow. Well, he was in the haymow, and he fell out of the haymow.
Oh.
And after that fall, why, he had little control of his body, and then he passed away at 14. And I pushed him around in a wheelchair quite a bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's the only thing that was about him that
Yeah,
I
an
know.
interesting name. Where did that name come from?
Walter Houston?
Yeah.
Walter Houston. Walter was Walter Hartman. That was my grandfather.
Okay.
And Houston was my grandfather Lawson.
Okay.
They called him Hooch.
Hooch.
Called him Hooch. But he was in the Spanish-American War.
Huh. Okay.
My grandfather Lawson was in the Spanish-American War, and when he came back, he went to Idaho. I don't know why, but he went to Idaho and worked on a sheep farm. Okay? And for some reason or other, he come back to Indiana. And my grandmother was born and raised down at Madison, Indiana. Okay? Her name was Cora. And how they got together, I have no idea. And then wound up just north of Anderson on a 40-acre farm.
Yeah.
I have no idea about that. But at any rate, that was my grandfather and grandmother, Lawson.
Yeah. That's another story I'll have to track down when I get there. Okay, who's the next child?
Okay, see, I said Barbara Alice and Walter, and let's see, let me think a minute. Kenneth Edward,
Okay.
Another blue baby, okay, and he died at birth. And then lucky me, then there was myself, and then have a younger brother, Mickey, and a younger sister, Jane Ann.
Okay.
And that's the family.
Okay.
But my mother had her hands full all the time, raising children and trying to take care of the house.
So, did you pair up with any of those siblings a little more than others?
After 12 years old, why, we all lived in the same house, of course.
Right.
And we were brothers and sisters, and just normal stuff come along while we'd take care of it and go on. my brother, my younger brother and I, people think we was trying to kill one another. But Mick is a forward type person that you can talk to.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's always been that way. And I've tried to keep up with him and do my part, you know. And when the wood burning craze came around,
Oh, yeah.
well, everybody was burning wood, you know, and a fireplace, had to have a fireplace or a stove. Well, I bought a stove and put it in the fireplace. And so I was cutting wood right down at my neighbor's house, which was about a mile away, half mile, and hauling it in. And Mickey said, well, come on over, I got some wood I need to cut up. So we did. And you thought we was killing one another out there. But we was having a good time. We enjoy doing that. And bickering at one another doesn't amount to a thing. That's just what we did. But we always had a good time.
Been entertainment for the rest of us who know you both.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
But now my younger sister, Jane Ann, her name was McCrocklin. And McCrocklin Ford at Middletown, she married Frankie McCrocklin. And they run Middletown, the Ford dealership, until they retired here just a year or so ago, 2 years ago. And that's their story. So that's it.
Wow. Yeah. Did you, you talked a little bit about your grandparents. Did you know them very well?
I knew all of them very well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all, in fact, clear up until after I was married, why, we had all our grandparents.
That's very unique.
Yeah, Doris's grandparents and my grandparents. We had all of them. And which is unusual, you know, to be that way.
Oh, yeah.
But I was 22 when I got married, and I married Doris Tway. Her name Doris Tway.
Okay.
And I don't know what you want to know.
Well, now, I'm not quite catching her last name.
Tway.
T-W, okay.
Tway.
Don't think I've ever heard that one. So how did you meet her?
Well, in between high school and kind of growing up, why, I had three buddies that we run around together. There was Wayne Vogel, Don Waymeyer, and okay, come on, Bill. Anyway, there was four of us all together.
Yeah.
And the one fella, we were going to the State Theater. We were getting ready to go inside. And here come three girls down the street. Phil Grieve, that's the other guy. Well, anyway, Phil knew Doris. And so he run out to the street and was talking to the girls, and the other three of us, we just kind of stood back and waited. Yeah. But that's how I met Doris. I was in front of the State Theater here in Anderson.
So it take you very long to figure out that she was the one, or?
Well, yeah, it took a while. We went together, I expect, a year and a half,
Okay.
And we was married 6 months after that.
Was it a real fancy proposal? Did she get down on one knee and beg you to marry her?
No, she didn't do that. In fact, I didn't even do that. In that time, why, you gave a ring to the girl to wear to show that she was spoken for.
Yeah.
Well, I told her I wanted my ring back. And said, I'm going to go into the service, and I said, I want my ring back.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we was driving down the road when that happened.
Yeah.
And she said, okay. And she took it off and handed it to me. And so I took the diamond ring out of my pocket and put it on her finger. And that's how I proposed to her.
That's a good one. I like that.
But she said, oh, I have to go home. I said, what for? Well, I got to tell Mom.
I love it. That's good.
Yeah.
I could say shame on you.
Yeah.
Making the rest
Yeah,
of us
of
look
course, the
bad.
mouth dropped open, and all that sort of thing. And that's all right.
It's a good thing she wasn't driving when you said,
Oh,
"I want
yeah.
my ring back."
Yeah. But no, that started everything off.
Ah, where did you get married?
We got married in the 5th Street United Methodist Church.
All right. Okay.
And that really started my church membership and all that sort of thing.
So you hadn't really gone to church before that?
No.
Now, had she gone to church?
Oh,
or-
she was a lifelong member.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she
See, her parents went there.
Oh,
And
all right.
her grandparents went there.
Huh.
And so in 1956, we were married.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Did you know Virgil and Nellie Peters?
Well, the name, I don't remember the name.
I know they went there. When Grace Methodist Church closed, a lot of folks from Grace went to 5th Street.
Well, now, this was in 1956.
Yeah. Yeah. It would have been close to that time when they closed.
Yeah,
A few years after that, but
yeah. No, I don't remember that name. But we attended that church for several years.
so how long were you and Doris married?
We were married 59 years.
Wow.
Yeah, we were married 59 years, and they were all good years, you can say that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
it was
great.
all good years. She had a heart problem, and it took her.
Oh boy. Was it very quick or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But she just passed away. That's life. That's what happens.
Yeah. I'm glad she didn't linger for some long illness.
No, no,
That's always
no.
not such a pleasant way to go. Now, children from that marriage, who are the names and what's become of them?
Oh, well, pardon me, but I have to read it off because I got so many of them here.
I understand that.
Okay, we got Jennifer,
Yeah.
Janice, and Julia were our 3 girls.
Okay.
Okay, and Janice lives in Anderson. Jennifer lives with me. She's taking care of me. Yeah, she's the boss. She's taking care of me. And then Julia lives in Tennessee, down at Knoxville, with her husband down there, and she has children down there and grandchildren. And Janice has grandchildren and children, and Jennifer has children and grandchildren. And so that makes me great-grandpa. Okay? And if you want the whole genealogy, it's right here. But let's see, I think there's 11 great-grandkids and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 great-grandkids.
Wow.
And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grandkids, and then the girls.
Wow. So 3 daughters, and then from there.
From there on down, clear down to great grandkids.
Wow.
Don't have any great greats yet. We're still looking for them.
Well, then you're just making them a deal. You're going to hang around until you get them.
That's right. That's right. You just wait a while. I'll be there.
Sound like a good plan. Tell me a little bit more about your grandparents. What are some of your memories of your grandparents on the Hartman side? First of all, their
On the Hartman
names.
side,
What were their names?
Well, their names was Walter Hartman
Okay.
and Barbara Jemima Kendall Hartman.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and they were retired, you might say, when we moved in with them.
Yeah.
My grandfather, Hartman, he just kind of wandered around on the farm and had one of his sons took over the farm,
Yeah.
and he just kind of watched and seen what was going on. So it was their retirement, you might say.
Yeah. So, you remember any particular stories about your grandpa?
Well, my grandfather, he is a euchre player.
Oh, Lord.
Oh yeah, and you play one card, he knew what else you had in your hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he played for blood, and in fact he went to town on Saturday night,
Yeah.
and he played cards with the boys in town,
Yeah.
and you could tell if he had a good night because he come home with candy. Other than that, and then Grandma, she was more or less just retired lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, she still drove a car, but then she had an accident in the car, and so that she laid her driver's license down, quit driving, and then of course they both passed away.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on the Lawson side, what were their names?
John Houston Lawson,
Okay.
and then Cora, and I don't know. Let's see. Well, Cora Lawson.
Okay.
That's about the best I can go there.
Close enough.
Yeah.
What do you remember about your grandma Lawson?
Well, my grandma Lawson, she always had chickens, and they milked a cow or two, and she was the cooler. They had a tank in a milk house, a little milk house.
Yeah.
Had a tank, and they'd set the milk in a 10-gallon can down in that tank with the cold water running, and she'd sit there and stir the milk in the can so it'd get cool. But Grandpa Lawson done all the outside work and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
In fact, he was 94 years old. He was cleaning out the chicken house and he passed away. Had a heart attack.
Good grief. Wow.
So, and then Grandma, she lived, no, I don't know, she was probably 80, 85, 86, something like that.
Yeah.
She was quite a bit younger than what he was.
Yeah. Did your grandpa Lawson have any particular quirks or?
Well, he had horses,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
And Ted and Dick. The Ted was Teddy Roosevelt. And I don't know where the other one came from. I don't know where the other name came from. But Teddy Roosevelt and my grandfather, they went up San Juan Hill together.
No kidding, really?
Yeah. And my grandfather's uniform, thanks to Mickey, it's in the State Museum.
Oh, no kidding.
Cap and a whole works. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
But Mickey, Mickey inherited the section of the farm where their house was at. And it wasn't cleaned out. And so he had the responsibility of cleaning out the house, and then they tore it down and he built his present home there. But the uniform, and he found all this stuff in the house, you see.
Quite a find.
And so Mickey is a responsible person. When he finds something that's necessary and something that needs to be done, he does it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He don't ask anybody.
Yeah.
He just goes and does it. And that's just the way he is. And So he took this uniform to the State Museum, and they have it down there now.
Wow.
But Grandfather Lawson had quite a history in the military. But he was in Cuba, and like I say, he charged up San Juan Hill. But other than that, and then from the rest of it, why, the sheep farm and back to Indiana. That's the best I know.
Now, where's he buried?
He's buried in the cemetery at Lapel.
Okay.
He and Grandma Lawson are buried down there. And the girls, the Barbara Alice, Walter Houston, are buried down there with them.
Now why Lapel?
In Lapel.
What's the connection with Lapel? Why did they get buried there?
Well, they owned a house in Lapel that
Okay.
they rented. They rented out.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's the only connection they had down there.
Yeah, I was thinking of him living over here and getting buried in Lapel, but
No. They had a house in Lapel that they rented out to people.
okay.
And other than that, why, that's the only connection I know they had with Lapel.
Yeah.
I don't know what else drawed them there.
Now you grew up on a farm.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have any particular chores that were yours?
Oh, yeah. We made hay in the summertime, picked corn in the fall, cut soybeans, filled silos. I was always the guy on the inside of the silo, tromping down the silo.
Okay.
And
Ooh, that's dangerous.
it was a lot of fun. I'll tell you, you get up in there and hear this, you take the buckets. Buckets hang from the top to the bottom
Yeah.
to guide the silage. It didn't just come in and fall in there. You walked around with the buckets, which were just long tubes, and placed it on the sidewalls, and then at the same time you were walking around on that, tromping it down.
Oh, okay.
And I done that. That was my job. I always got that job for some reason or other. And then the doors to get into the silo, as you filled up, why, you closed the door and put tar paper over it, so it wouldn't eat the wood. And you just kept going up and up to the top till you got it full. Well, when noon came, lunchtime,
Yeah.
why, all the fellows that were helping fill the silo went into Earl and Bertha's house
Yeah.
for lunch. And the first thing they had there was a great big green salad. And here I've been tromping it down all morning, but that was the first thing they put on the table, was a great big green salad. But remember that, and of course I milked cows, I ground feed, cleaned the chicken house, and just cut weeds, pulled weeds out of the garden. We always had a big garden, and I pulled weeds. That's about it.
Was there a job you hated to do?
No, well, yeah, combine oats. The dust from the oats, it just itched like mosquito bite. And then we had a stationary baler, baling up the straw. And of course, they had the buck rake. He'd go out and pick it up, come shove it in where the guy on top could pick it off and throw it in the baler. Well, I was that guy down there putting the wires back through the bale. One guy on that side, I was on this side, push the wire through, and I'd push it back.
Yeah.
And then they'd drop a block up here so that you could do that. Then made a hole through the hay. And so then you had a bale when it went out the back. Well, I happened to be on the side where they come with this straw and pile it in there. Well, there I was, right down the bottom of it. And I hated that job. I didn't like that job at all.
That doesn't sound like a very pleasant one.
Oh, no, it was dirty. It was a dirty job. But somebody had to be down there to do that.
Was there a job you liked to do?
Well, I enjoyed working with my uncle. Uncle Earl run the farm. And from 12 years old on until I left the farm, I worked with him. And he had one hand. He got in the corn picker, in the snapping rolls, and he lost like this.
Wow.
All of these were gone.
Oh my gosh.
The only thing that man couldn't do was scratch his left elbow with his fingernails. That was the only thing he couldn't do.
Wow.
Any repair on the farm, he did it.
Yeah.
We didn't ask somebody to come in and fix it. That's where I learned my ability of fixing things. When after Doris and I were married and had our home, I didn't call anybody to come in to fix it up.
Yeah.
Done it myself. And that's how I learned how to do different things. And the best school I ever had was working with that man.
Oh yeah.
That was the best school I ever had. But one summer, he told me, he said, "You've been working around here for a long time for nothing." He gave me $60 and an outboard motor.
Yeah.
And he said, "I want you and Mickey," which was younger brother. And then I had a cousin, two cousins, Charles Stevenson and Kenny Stevenson. And he says, "There's a place in Wisconsin you can go." He said, "There's a tent. You can put this tent in the back of your car." He completely outfitted me. He said, and I had a decent automobile.
Yeah.
"I want you to go to Wisconsin and spend a week."
Ah.
$60 now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah.
All right. We went to Wisconsin, stayed in that tent all week long, fixed our own meals, fished, had a wonderful time, come home, had money left. Yeah, had money left. And at that time, gasoline was about 18 cents a gallon,
Yeah.
you know, and that sort of thing.
Wow.
So, but I've had an enjoyable life. I haven't been beaten or anything like that.
Oh, you sound like you
I've
had a
had an
great
enjoyable
childhood.
life. But I learned how to work,
Yeah.
and it's a money thing. You save money by doing it yourself. By knowing you have to think a little bit, you know, to fix some things.
Yeah.
And some things still baffle me a little bit. But I push a pencil. I don't. This thing here, that computer is way out of my line. I can barely work my telephone.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't until recently I learned how to answer mine. It'd ring and I'd say, "What do I do with it?" Talking a little bit about the milking operation, you had how many cows?
I think there was 22 cows that we milked,
Yeah.
and
And how many people milking those cows?
me.
Just you?
Oh, we had automatic machines.
Oh, okay. All
We
right.
had machines to milk the cows with, and you just trade it from one cow to the other.
Yeah.
You took the milk in the barn, in the milk house, through a passageway, and poured it into a big sieve or a big funnel, which had a pad in the bottom that screened the milk, and that would run down into a pan, be several little holes in a tray,
Right.
and those holes would run down over a metal tubing to another tray and then into the milk can. And there was water, cold water, running through the cooler tubes.
Okay.
And that's how they cooled the milk.
Oh, all right.
And then from there, well, you just switch to another can and just keep the milk going.
Okay. And this is on the Hartman farm.
That's Hartman Farm.
And you said that they were selling milk in town?
That was before the war.
Okay.
The Second World War came along and rationing, and that stopped the delivery.
Yeah, because they couldn't get enough stamps for the
Right.
gasoline, or
Right, they couldn't get enough stamps because the business actually wasn't that big.
okay,
It was just an individual farm, and people were buying directly from the farm.
okay,
Unpasteurized milk,
yeah,
straight milk, but it was all tested. And the cows were tested every once in a while.
yeah,
And gosh, I think the veterinarian kind of lived out there. But everything was very clean and kept up.
Can you tell the difference between pasteurized and unpasteurized milk?
No,
Yeah,
no. As far as I'm concerned, it all tastes the same. Of course, I was raised on milk. Gosh, I didn't drink coffee till I got in the Army. You know, but I really enjoyed that part of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you say after they had to close down the delivery to town, people were coming out and buying it on the
Oh
farm?
yeah, the customers who were customers at the time,
Yeah.
why they'd bring their own jar, their own gallon jar, like a pickle jars you see nowadays.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And they'd bring them out and they'd fill it up for them. And
Whatever you could seal.
yeah, they sold that just that way.
Yeah. Was it honor system, or did they just? Did
Oh yeah,
somebody-
you come in, and of course you had to have somebody fill your thing for you. You know?
Okay, yeah.
But what you did, you just come in, set your can down, leave your name on it, and then when Earl milked, why, in there was a box. There was when you walk in the door, and then there was a cabinet right here on the side.
Yeah.
Open the cabinet door, and there's a little box in there.
Yeah.
And you put your money in there. And that's the way it was done.
Yeah.
And you
And
pick-
nobody would have thought of stealing that money or cheating you in any way.
never had a problem.
Yeah.
Never had a problem.
Yeah.
And well, later in years when I had my own business, why, I trusted everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You had to, you know. You got your money,
Yeah.
but you trusted everybody. You had to. Even if you went to a house and there was dirt floor, why, that's a customer. You take care of them. You know. And I was just raised up that way.
Did you ever get cheated?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. But you just take that, and that's part of business. Because you're not going to get the money.
Only once.
That's true.
Yeah.
Only once.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You didn't see that person again, you know. But
Business.
that's just the way it was.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at College Corner School, the one-room school.
Mm-hmm.
And now there are pictures in there, but there was 8 children in my class, and we went all 8 years at that one-room school, and one teacher, and for the whole school. But went there for 8 years, and when we graduated from there, we went into Anderson High School, the old one, the one they tore down.
Mm-hmm.
And we were lost. I mean, you know, you go into a school of 2,000 and
Oh, yeah.
from 50 kids,
Wow.
why, you're lost. And so my high school days weren't what they should have been. I wasn't a clique person. I didn't get into things, and I was still milking cows at home and all this sort of thing. I was happy at home,
Yeah, I get
but
that.
not at school. And until I was a senior, distributive education, the first year of it was when I was a senior. That was the first year Anderson High School offered it. And what we did, we had to go get a job. And in retailing, it had to be in retailing. And so I went to Hoyt Wright and got me a job. So I worked from noon till quitting time at Hoyt Wright's And from 8 o'clock in the morning till noon, why, I had distributive education class and bookkeeping. And that was my senior year. That's terrific. It just hit the
Yeah.
spot, you
Yeah.
know. And so I worked for Hoyt Wright for a couple of years,
Do you
and
remember how much you got paid?
$15 a week. $15 a week.
That's pretty good.
And that was all part of the school, you know. And,
Yeah.
and so it was expected not to have much money
Sure.
as far as that goes. But they paid me $15 a week, and everything, you know, just went right along as part of school.
Did you know Mr. Wright?
Yes.
Well, what'd you
Yes.
think of him?
Hoyt Wright was a quiet individual who knew everything that was going on. He knew everything. George McMahon kind of run the store.
Okay.
But George McMahon had a pushy personality.
Yeah.
He was in the right spot.
Yeah.
He was in the right spot. But I think Hoyt was the damper, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. And but Hoyt, after I left the store, he come to me and wanted me to come back. And of course I didn't go back, but he was that type of person. He was a very nice person.
Oh.
And George McMahon, he never treated me badly. And he showed me a lot of things to do and how to do it, and they had me marking clothing and doing up prices and all this sort of thing. So I got to see the whole business, which just a normal clerk at the store doesn't see that. I got to see what went on back behind, and it was a very interesting year.
Now, did that help you when you went into business?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I knew bookkeeping
Yeah.
when I went into business. I had an idea on what to do. Of course, every business you go into, the bookkeeping is different.
Oh yeah.
You know, you have to learn what goes through that type of business. But, oh yeah, I anytime somebody says something about distributed education, get in it. That's my attitude.
Yeah.
And when I was a senior, I guess I blossomed.
Yeah, we had several kids working for us who were doing the same thing, and some of them worked out really well. We
Yeah.
gave them a chance to get a little experience, and then when the time came around, if we needed to hire somebody, a lot of times we'd look to those kids and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
need a job? We'd love to have you come back."
Yeah. Well, Hoyt asked me to come back. I didn't. I was at Delco Remy.
Must have done a good job for him.
Well, I went to Delco Remy because my family wanted me to. I didn't want to go out there to go to work. I wanted to go ahead with retailing. And in that era, let's put it that way, in that era, salesmen on a farm were not welcome. And that's what I was. And so, being farm people, go to Delco Remy and make some money.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to go to Delco Remy, but I did anyway. I did what they wanted me to do. And I worked there 2.5 months. They laid me off. I thanked them and never went back.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. And then, then after that, why, I went into service.
And what'd you do at Remy's?
I was, well, they told me my eyes weren't any good and I couldn't see out of one eye, and they just darn near didn't hire me, and they put me on inspection.
Well, that explains
Well,
why.
that sounds logical. Yeah, that's logical.
But they did. They put me on
That's
inspection.
GM.
Yep.
That's the same company I worked for. Recognize that. Tell me a little bit about the one-room school. Who was the teacher?
My main teacher out there was Dorothy Wood.
Dorothy Wood.
But we had a man teacher and another woman teacher came in for about a year, and then they were gone. But Dorothy Wood was the main teacher out there,
Yeah.
and she was a good teacher. She kept order, and everybody knew what they were supposed to do. She'd start with the first grade, and just second grade, third grade, fourth, and if you were in the first grade starting, if you paid attention, why, you good shape for the next few years.
Yeah.
You knew just about what to expect.
Yeah, I've heard him talk about that.
Yeah.
You would hear in advance what you were going to learn, and then you would be reinforced by hearing again what you had learned.
That's right.
And it's just really a good system.
Yeah, it was, and it was a good learning experience.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, but she was our main teacher, and they lived just about a half mile from the school. Everett Wood was her husband. He worked at Kokomo.
Okay.
And one thing I remember about him, he had a Buick, great big Buick, the biggest one they had. And he said, Bill, he said, you know what? He says, I've never changed the oil in that Buick.
Oh,
Never changed the oil in that Buick. Now, he was the engineer over at Kokomo. And I said, what do you mean you never changed the oil in that Buick? He said, no, I changed the filter. He says, your oil gets
One of
dirty.
those.
He says, your oil gets dirty, but it don't wear out. So he never changed the oil in that Buick. And he drove that Buick for years.
Gee. Well, I worked with engineers, so I don't know whether to believe him or not.
Well, we got some running around here every Sunday.
Oh, boy. Wow.
But that's about all I can tell you about her. They had one child. They had a daughter.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's their family.
Yeah.
But see, the house I grew up in, I lived at a crossroads, and right across the crossroads is where our house was from the school.
Yeah.
So I walked to school every day. I walked to school up until I was 12 years old, and then we went to my grandfather's house, and I rode the bus around. But I was that close to the school. Well, in the summertime, wasn't much to do really when I lived there, because I didn't have too many chores to do. Why, in my spare time, I get on my bicycle, well, be gone.
Oh, yeah.
And then when the sun started going down, why, you go home.
Oh.
And I think I knew everybody within 4 or 5 miles around this
Oh,
place.
sure.
There.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting childhood.
Oh, that'd be great childhood.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, you had
I had a lot of freedom.
kids who work enjoy their childhood.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not just working to death, but
Oh
now.
yeah. Oh no, I had time to play around.
Yeah.
In fact, the creek that run through our place
Yeah.
had a good swimming hole in it,
Well, I bet.
and had shiners in there about that long, And I never had a fishing pole. I had regular string and a hook. I had a hook. And I'd cut an ironweed, a horseweed.
Mm-hmm.
Horseweeds grow 6 feet tall, 7, 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
Just cut off a horseweed,
Mm-hmm.
take the limbs off of it, tie the string on the end of the horseweed,
Yeah.
bring it back down a little ways and tie it on there again, just in case the tip broke off.
Yeah.
And that's where you went fishing. And we had a good time. The Cook boys, they lived just north of us there, and Donnie and Dale, why, we'd go fishing, swimming.
Uh-huh.
Just neighborhood kids.
Any relation to Virgil?
I
Virgil
don't
Cook?
know.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Wow. So you, after high school, you went to work at Remus for a while
Yeah.
and got out of there as soon as you could, and then went into the service?
Yeah. I was in 1956.
Okay.
Why, I went in the service and was there 3 years.
Okay. Now,
I was 22 when went in the service.
you were pretty young, but do you remember much about Pearl Harbor?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what do you remember about that?
Well, we were listening to the radio, and I'm not sure whether it was Charlie McCarthy or the Green Hornet, or anyway, we was listening to
Yeah.
the radio on Sunday afternoon, and they made the announcement that Pearl Harbor had been bombed, and the whole attitude changed from there. Of course, coming up through that time, why I pretty well recognized what was going on, and of course, Grandpa Lawson, why he got the books. He had the books of the Second World War, and so I looked at those time and time again, and I became kind of a history nut from that. And oh yeah, we had rationing, and I remember one time Dad come home with a big sack of sugar. Took it, put it in the back room. But no, other than that, we made it through.
Yeah.
But right about that time, it was another thing that happened to the family. If an airplane would fly over, everybody'd run out and look. Look at that airplane.
Yeah.
Looky there, there's an airplane.
Yeah.
And they were the double wing planes at that time. And aviation was kind of new. It was very new. They'd had airplanes in the First War, but they were just airplanes.
Yeah.
They were more defined into the Second World War. And that's just one of those things we did.
Yeah. Dad
But as
talked
far
about-
as Pearl Harbor is concerned, I got in on the announcement of it in 1941.
Dad talked about running outside and everybody saying airplane, airplane.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah. That
So how was Leroy when it came to writing letters home? Was he very good at that, or
never got a letter from him.
never did? Huh?
No, never did get a letter. I don't know whether mother did or not. You know, I don't know that. But see, I was 6 years old when. Yeah, in 1940, I was 6 years old. In 40, so I'd be 7 years old, just starting school.
Yeah.
And all I knew was what I heard, and we collected milkweed pods and old iron and paper and stuff for the war effort.
Yeah.
We did that.
Were you able to keep track of where Leroy was?
No, he went into service in 1945,
Okay.
44,
Okay.
1944, and he was in there for the duration of the war.
Okay.
But in 44 and 45, and then he was home in 46, 46 or 47, somewhere along in there. And as far as knowing where he was at, we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't. I don't know whether he was moving so fast that they didn't want him to know where he was at, or you know, censorship was very heavy.
They didn't come right out and let you know where they were, but sometimes fellows would send little code words home like,
Oh yeah,
you
no.
know, how's Uncle Iwo Jima, or something like that.
Yeah. No, we never received anything like that that I know of.
Yeah.
Now my dad and mom may have, but I don't know.
Yeah. So you, and Franklin Roosevelt, when
That's
he
right.
died, that had to be
That's right.
an impact.
That's right. Franklin Delmer.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the only president you knew.
Yeah, that back then was, yeah. Harry Truman got to finish up the war, but other than that, it was all Franklin Delmer.
What'd you think of Harry Truman?
I'm sorry?
What'd you think of Harry Truman?
Well, the general attitude wasn't too good. But he ended the war right quick.
Well, he sure did.
He ended the war.
Made a tough decision.
Yeah, yeah.
That couldn't have been easy.
Killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
But at that time, at that particular time, that's what war was.
Would have killed a lot more
Yeah.
if we'd gone in.
Yeah, we'd have lost a lot more troops.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's close enough.
Yeah. So, let's see, 56 you went into the service. Take me down the path. Where's the first place you went? Do you go to an exam center in Indianapolis or?
Oh, well, no, I'd done all here in Anderson.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to the post office and that sort of thing, and at that time, and signed up and all that. And then I went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Okay.
Oh, the garden spot of the world.
Oh, yeah, yeah, red clay. When I got out of the service, 3 years after Fort Leonard Wood, I had red stains in my T-shirts from that clay. It didn't wash out. It just didn't wash out.
Oh,
My
no.
father-in-law done his basic there.
Yeah, that's what I was, basic training. Had some excitement there. I got shot at, and,
Oh, really?
and yeah, we went through what they called at that time the infiltration course.
Yeah.
And going through there, we went through in the daytime, which that was nothing, and we went through at night. And here you see these tracers going over top of you, you know. And there was a fellow there, I never will forget
Oh,
him.
Lord.
He was a dandy fellow, dandy fellow. He was from New York City. Jake Lacara. He was next to me. He says, I got to get out of here. And I told him, I said, you're not going anyplace.
Yeah.
You stay with me. No, I got to get out of here. And he was going to get up
And right.
and run. Now that man weighed about half as much as you do. I was 118 pounds. I grabbed him by the collar and drug him the rest of the way out of that infiltration course, down into the ditch where we were supposed to go. I don't know how I did it, but I did.
Wow.
And you know, I've lost all track of him after that. I don't know what happened to him. Nothing.
Well, had you not done that, he's a dead man.
Oh, if he'd have stood up, yeah, he'd have got shot.
Good night.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm not a hero. I'm no hero. It's just I done what I had to do when,
You saved that guy's life.
yeah, when it was there.
Yeah.
But I drug him out from underneath that thing. And of course, barbed wire was right here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You had your rifle like this, and the barbed wire run down your rifle to keep it off of you. As you went like this, went back through there. And but I don't know how I did it,
Wow.
but I did. But that's the most excitement I had in basic training.
So, when you first got there, I suppose he got you up pretty early in the morning.
Well, yes, because we had KP.
Yeah.
And I had kitchen police 12 times before I got into the Army, really.
Oh, my.
They was in a holding company
Ah.
and waiting on our cycle to start. And 12 days, KP. So I could pretty well run a mess hall before I even got in the Army.
Yeah. So, what was the toughest part of the training?
The toughest part of the training?
Yeah.
Well, I really didn't have any tough part because I'd played cowboy and Indians and gotten John Wayne for years, see? And I pretty well knew what to expect.
Yeah.
And it never bothered me for the sergeant to get right in my face and tell me what was going on,
Yeah.
what I was supposed to be doing. That never bothered me at all because I'd seen enough of it, I'd heard enough of it. Here my grandfather, he talked to about it. My brother, he'd talk to me about, and you see movies and all. It never bothered me because I knew what to expect when I got in there. And
you had
I
to be in
was
pretty good shape being a farm boy.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I could put a. I worked in a feed mill for a while, and I could put a 100-pound bag, right over my head.
Mm-hmm.
But then they told me I had to put feed in it.
You've been around Mickey too long. Oh boy. So you had Fort Leonard Wood where you had your basic training.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever had any notion to go back there again?
No. I don't have any bad memories from there, or any good memories, no, never go back there. I went back to Oklahoma to visit friends out there that lived out there. Other than that, that's all the place I went back
I
to.
had your basic at Fort Leonard Wood. Now, where'd you go from there?
Well, I went to Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland.
Okay.
And in Aberdeen Proving Ground, I went to an ammunition school. I was in the Ordnance Corps.
Okay.
And in the Ordnance Corps, that's anything that blows up. Okay? And so I went to an ammunition school. And then after that was 8 weeks. And then after the ammunition school, I went to a guided missile and propellant explosive specialist school. And all guided missile, about the Nike missile, which is not around anymore. And at the end of the school, I had the best grade of anybody in the school. I was the top guy. And they wanted me to stay and teach. No, I'm not a teacher.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead with whatever's in my career. I'll go ahead with it. I told the Sarge, I said, "No, Sarge, I'm no teacher. Give me a rifle." Mm-hmm. Okay, so our first child was born at that time, and the Red Cross got a hold of me and sent me home for 30 days. And then I went back to Aberdeen, and of course, everybody had gone. From there, I went by myself from Aberdeen to Fort Sill in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Well, I reported in to the first sergeant, and he says, "You go to the supply room." Okay. So I went down to the supply room, and he says, "You're the armorer for the company." So back here, I told that Sarge, "Give me a rifle," and he did. He gave me 20 of them, 200 of them, and 3 machine guns, and a grease gun, and for 2.5 years, I was in that arms room, taking them apart, putting them together, cleaning them, taking care of them, making sure the guard duty had their supply.
Yeah.
And then about 2.5 years, about 2 years after I got there, I wanted to go to a guided missile school at Savannah Ordnance Depot in Illinois. So I says, "Okay." So I went. Then I came back to Fort Sill. Everybody was gone.
Yeah.
Everybody was gone. And they handed me the keys to the arms room and supply room. So by that, I was a corporal, but I was in charge of the supply room and the arms room all at the same time. So for the next half a year, why, I took care of the weapons in the supply room. And all by myself. I mean, there's nobody, no clerk.
Huh.
I'd done all my clerking and everything. And for 6 months, why, I was there. And at the end of that 6 months, when my time to get out of the service, why, a lieutenant wanted me to re-enlist. And my wife had moved to Oklahoma with me, and we lived off post, just going to work and back. That's what it amounted to. And she said, I'm going to Indiana. You want to go with me or not? So I come back to Indiana. And that ended my military career.
Looking back on it, did you have any desire to stay in?
Oh, yeah, because I had a good job.
Oh, yeah.
I had a good job, and they wanted me to go to Germany, and I got sergeant stripes just as soon as I got to Germany, and promised me all this stuff, but you don't know whether you're going to get it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I would more than likely have been in a supply line somewhere.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, I had a good job and all that. I would have, and I've regretted sometimes that I didn't stay.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed my military career.
Yeah. Yeah, not bad at all.
No.
Save a guy's life and then work in supply after that. You got the whole place to yourself and
Yeah.
you're your own boss. And
Yeah. Nobody bothered me, and I just made sure everybody had what they needed.
yeah.
That was it.
Thing I admire about the Cold War years is that we maintained our military.
Oh yeah.
Always before we'd have a war and everybody go home, and then a war would pop up, we'd have to start all over again and put an
Right.
army together, and we had one ready to go for whatever kind
For
came ahead
Vietnam.
of us. And,
I was there when Korea wound down and just before
Yeah.
Vietnam started.
yeah,
And all those guys that come back from Korea, some of them came through our supply.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to take care of them and whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounded like you had a good childhood. you had great Army career.
Oh yeah.
Nothing played about there.
No. It 3 years spent well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Great marriage, and you mustered out 59.
In 1959.
Okay. Came back to Indiana.
Yeah.
Why was she so insistent on Indiana? Was she unhappy in Oklahoma, or just homesick, or what?
That's where home was.
Yeah.
That's where home. She was raised right out here just north of Anderson on Hartman Road.
Okay.
And her folks is here, and all her family is here. And so she wanted to come back here. That's
I
why.
get that.
And so we come back.
Yeah.
I don't know why I came back, but we did. But we had a good life after that.
Yeah. And you did you go into business for yourself when you got back?
No. When I got back, I went to work for a road cap company.
Okay.
The road cap company was a huckster type company
Okay. Sure.
out of a truck.
Sure.
And I had a route down through Knightstown and Rushville, in that area there. And I went from grocery store to little drugstores and all that sort of thing, and stocked them up on candy and cigarette lighters and just general merchandise. Even shoestrings. I even had
Yeah.
shoestrings. And but I was there one full year, one full winter, and around in the spring, and sometime in July, or in there June or July, why my aunt and uncle had a trailer parked on Tippecanoe Lake at Black's Landing, and they said, "Why don't you go up there and just spend the week?" So we did. Took family up, and "The Stripper" was the song at that time. You remember "The Stripper"? Well, every once in a while down at Black's Landing, somebody would play that on the on the record player, you know.
Yeah, David Rose.
And every time they do that, my youngest daughter, "There's Daddy's song." That we stayed there, and so while we were there, my uncle called me, and he said, "I need some help. I need somebody to come down and fill in for a little while." Well, I had always dreamed of work for Standard Oil. Always. When I was a kid, we had Jim Latta to come to our house and put kerosene in the thing, you know, and heater oil. That was for me. That's what I wanted to do. And so here was my uncle called me, who worked for Standard Oil as an agent in Muncie. And he was calling me, and he wanted me to drive a truck and deliver. Just like, "Here it is, buddy. You got it. It's all laid out in front of you." Well,
We got 3.
I went there to work for him in 1960. And in 1969, he retired. I worked for him all those years. And when he retired, well, I became an agent for Standard Oil. And I was an agent for Standard Oil for 5 years. And then Standard Oil fired all of us agents. You might say that's what they did. They depleted that section, okay? And then they said, "You're going to go work for yourself, or you're not going to do it." So we bought the tanks. See, when you went to work for Standard Oil, you bought a truck, chassis. They furnished the tank. They maintained the tank that's on the truck. Okay. And I delivered to homes and farms and factories and drove a little tank truck. That's what I drove.
Basically, heating oil, right?
I'm sorry?
It was heating oil?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, heating oil, gasoline, motor oil, lubricants for farm, home, and family.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And my uncle retired. I became an agent. And I was an agent for Standard Oil for 5 years. And then they said, "You're going to do it yourself, or that's it." So I bought the tank. And from then until, I think it was 78, somewhere along in there, why, everything was going along just fine. And all of a sudden, the oil industry decided to raise the price of heating oil. And it went up to almost...
Heating oil here. I'm a little curious. You said that you were delivering home heating oil and also lubricants.
Anything that Standard Oil sold.
But, okay, now if you were delivering the lubricants, would those be in like separate cans or something? Or did you fill the tank with the lubricant and then fill it with heating oil the next time?
Okay.
How did you deliver it?
The delivery part, we had cases of oil.
Okay.
We had 5 gallons of oil, and we have a 5-gallon container with 35-pound pail of grease.
Okay.
And these were different products, okay? As far as the bulk oil, I hauled anything that would flow in the tank.
Okay.
And that included motor oils, naphthas, lighter fluid, gasoline, diesel fuel, heating oils, kerosene, all those products. I handled all those products. And we'd fill a tank with oil, which would be 1030 or 520 or 1010 or whatever, and go to a factory and put that in their tank.
Ah, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And the way you flushed it, you got up on top of the truck
Yeah.
and you put the outlet for the hose, you connected to the tank that had the oil in it, motor oil. And then you had fuel oil in the line for your last delivery. So you take that nozzle up on top of the truck and put it into the tank where the fuel oil is. You let it run until the oil comes there.
Okay.
Okay? Shut it off. Then you go deliver your oil. And then when your oil runs out and runs dry, you reverse the product by pushing fuel oil into the line.
I kind of
See,
wondered how that
that's the
worked
way
out.
that's the way your pipeline works.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the
yeah.
way your pipeline works from Texas up to.
The two don't mix.
No, they have a block in between them, and that block is inert material. And all the way, they'll pump it all the way up here, and that stays there, and you'll have one product here and one product there. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to put a piece of paper in there or a steel ball or anything like that. But it's an amazing thing. And if you go out to the pumping center on 28th Street, or on Highway 28, north of Muncie, they have a tank for that block. And so when it comes in, they have to open a valve, pump that into that tank, close that valve, and then put the product where it's supposed to go.
I always kind of wondered how that worked.
That's how that works.
I know it. Well, I'd only seen the truck come to put heating oil in Mom and Dad's tank, and I never really thought about when you started talking about these other lubricants. How in the world would you do that?
Well, you part of the trade. That's just the way it works.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like interesting work.
It was. I stuck with it 39, 40 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I retired the first time, I was ready to leave because the tank wagon business had dwindled. And there was very small amounts of tank wagon business.
Yeah.
And so I was ready to retire. I retired, and here I am.
Yeah. Now, you said that they increased the price on the heating oil.
Oh yeah, all of a sudden the heating oil became $4.50 a gallon. Well, you can't heat a house at $4.50 a gallon. Put in 100 gallon, that's $500.
Yeah.
And 100 gallon would last 2 weeks maybe. So you couldn't do that. And so, bingo, the bottom dropped out of it, everything dropped. And so I shut down my company and went to work for G&G Oil Company at Muncie. And I worked for them for 15 years and just drove a truck, same thing. Actually, I'd done the same thing for all those years, just done it in different trucks.
Right.
Yeah. But then I retired from G&G Oil Company.
Yeah, there's when you say that you took the business over from Standard Oil, there's a lot to putting your own business together.
Well, not really,
permits
because
and
you're doing the same
regulations.
thing. See, I was already doing the job.
Yeah.
You took care of your own, you had your own paperwork to take care of, you had your own report to do to Standard Oil, you had all this to do. And so I just carried it right over into my business
Okay.
and went right ahead. It was not much of a transfer.
Okay.
Because you had your trucks, I had all your equipment that you needed. Everything out in the field didn't change. You still had the same farmers. You still had the same customers.
Yeah.
And so nothing in the field changed, but you did. All you changed was your name.
You have much trouble with the government regulations?
The only regulations that we really had as far as government was just paying taxes.
Yeah.
Because other than that, why, they didn't bother us any.
Yeah.
The oil industry bothered us more than what anybody else did.
Okay.
It just changes.
So did you work in any other jobs during that time?
No.
Okay, that was your
No.
job. And after you got out of that business, did you go into something else, or
Oh,
were you
yeah.
just retired?
No, I drove a truck for so many years, and I retired. And the first thing I did after retired, we went to Florida and moved Doris's aunt up with us because her husband had passed away, and she sold everything down there and moved. That was the first week of retirement. The second week of retirement, I went to work for Bradburn Oldsmobile Cadillac, driving automobiles and doing
Yeah.
dealer trades
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. I went to Cleveland, Ohio, and took a car up there. I went to St. Louis. I went to the east end of Kentucky and took a Cadillac down there,
Yeah.
just driving cars from here to there. And I'd done that for 6 years. So, but that was just like driving on clouds, you know. You
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
from driving a truck. And of course, I had all the experience on the road I needed. I need to find a dealership. At that time, we didn't have these maps on the phones, you know, and all this sort of thing. I didn't have that. I didn't even have a telephone. And you go to you find out what towns you're going to. So I was going to Cleveland, okay?
Yeah.
Well, after I got to Cleveland, then it asked somebody where this street's at or where this dealership's at, and you go right to it. I mean, that's what you had to do.
Oh, yeah.
And but going to St. Louis, what had happened? A person had bought a Cadillac from Bradburn Oldsmobile in Muncie.
Mm-hmm.
They got to St. Louis and the crankshaft broke. Brand new car. Brand new car. And so they lived in Muncie,
Yeah.
but they had to rent a car to come back, you know. So Bradburn rented a car for me. I drove it, and it was a junker. I drove it to St. Louis, okay, to the dealership, and picked up this little Cadillac. Oh, it was a beautiful little Cadillac, and started back. Well, it started to get dark in the evening, so I turned on the lights. The whole cab. There was every gauge had lights in it, you know.
Yeah.
All over. It looked like an airplane cockpit, what it looked like. And I really got a big kick out of driving that little Cadillac back.
Yeah. So how many Cadillacs have you bought in your life?
None.
None.
Lucky to have a Chevy.
Had to get that in.
Yeah. Oh no, I took a fella up to Detroit, and he was going to buy a pep car. Now you know what pep?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Pep Boys, you know what they are. Okay. He was going to buy a pep car, and it was a Cadillac. It'd be his sixth Cadillac. And we left about 5 o'clock in the morning and got up there 5 hours later, and went out, found out where this car was at. It was sitting out in a field, weeds are growing up, you know.
Yeah.
Here it was sitting out in the field somewhere. So we went out and looked at it. He says, that's not the wheels on that that said it was on it. He said, do you get paid whether I take this car back or not? I said, well, I'm getting paid by the hour. I says, you just do whatever you want to do. So he didn't buy it. And so we come back.
Yeah.
But I done that twice with him. And the second time he didn't buy it either. So it was just trips that just made and
Oh,
into big towns, you know, that was it.
wow. Lost money on that deal. Yeah. Let's pause for a minute. I want to get those pictures on now.
Go.
Okay, now this is your classic college corner.
Oh, no.
Well, maybe not.
No, this is Army here.
That's quite a picture.
Yeah, all those fellas. Jake's in there somewhere. They're a great bunch of guys.
Well, the one you pulled out of the obstacle course.
He was in there somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have anybody in particular that you palled around with?
No, not really. It was more or less just you went through it and that was it.
Yeah.
Most generally, individual. It's an individual thing for basic training.
Well, it's not like you worked with a big crew or anything. You were just.
Yeah, you're
You
just
were
part
it.
of it. Just a part of it, and you were one of the guys. That's why people say, "Thank you for your service." Well, yeah, I appreciate that. But there was a lot of other guys in there with me, as you can see.
Oh yeah.
Just don't forget about them.
Try not to.
Well, everybody thinks that you have to be a war hero to get any kind of credit, but those war heroes needed ammunition and clothes and.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Okay, now this is a college corner,
This
and
is-
that's your 8th grade.
That's right.
You say it's Dorothy Wood as the teacher?
That's right.
That's the whole class.
That's the whole class, and they're all gone. Here I am.
Hmm.
I'm the remaining one.
Tape, go.
Okay, that is the entire school, every kid that was there, and that's Mr. Gooding. He was there 1 year. Other than that, why, that's the only time he was there.
Ah.
But yeah, I want you to look at the clothes. I want you to look at how they're dressed.
Yeah.
Everybody's poor.
Yeah.
We didn't know it. We didn't know how poor we was. But we was all in the same boat. Everybody done the same thing.
I'm just looking at how well dressed the school building was at that time
Oh yeah.
compared to now.
Oh yeah. Well, now it's a shell out there now. Roof's already fallen in. But the school was maintained very nicely.
Okay, now go.
Okay, this picture is of our graduation from the 8th grade in Bethany Church.
Oh, okay. Show. Yeah.
Yeah, this was in Bethany Church. That's why we're all dressed up.
Yeah.
Get ready to mention that.
Yeah. And that little squirt there in the middle, that's me. And if you'll see, everybody else is taller than I am.
Yeah. Did that bother you?
No, no, not a bit. I just, I didn't participate in sports or anything like that because I wasn't of the stature to do it.
You always impressed me as being a guy.
Go.
Okay. And one of those gals in that picture was Esther, up in the corner there at the top. And she was my neighbor for several years.
I know that.
And
Yeah.
and then we found out that she was interested in a fellow, and eventually wound up and, hey, that's Bill Lawson. and you say that you met Esther
First day of school.
first day of school, first grade.
And that was in, let's see, 1940.
Okay.
1940.
Yeah.
The fall of 1940. And anytime somebody asked her, how did you meet? She'd always say, well, he was 6 and I was 5. And we went through grade school together and went into Anderson High School.
Yeah.
And I lost complete track of her. She went on to business school and that sort of thing. Doris and I got married, had our children, had our life, and Doris passed away. And then I sat around the house for about a year and a half and moped. And I decided that this particular Sunday afternoon I was going to Madison, just to get out of here.
Yeah.
And that evening she called me. We'd never had any conversation up until this time.
Huh.
She called me and she said that our high school reunion meets every Thursday at Perkins, you know, for a meal.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, I'd like for you to come if you can.
Huh.
I said, well, I'll think about it. We talked for a little while. That was it. I hung up the phone. You dummy. You are a dummy. So I turned around and called her right back.
Yeah.
And I told her that I was going to Madison. And I said, you want to go with me? Just to go for a ride.
Yeah.
Well, she hesitated a little bit and she said, well, yeah, I guess I can go. So we went. And that's what started the whole thing.
Huh.
Then that was in the spring, and then the next year while we were married.
I'll be darned. I never knew how you got together. I just knew that you were there.
Yeah. And we got married, and but on that first time that we went together, I understand. Paul told me, her older brother. Paul told me, he says, she come to me and she says, what do I talk about? What do I do? I don't even know this guy, you know, all this sort of thing. And she was all excited about, what is this? He said, just never mind. If he's anything like Jane Ann, he'll keep the conversation going.
Now, Esther married Al Kearns.
Right.
And then Al died. And
yes, right.
So she was on her own. Had there been any romantic interest back when you were younger, before you got to high school? Was she a girlfriend or just
no,
somebody you knew?
She was a schoolmate.
Yeah.
Other than that, no.
Yeah.
No. And then, like I say, in high school, I never saw her.
Yeah.
And it was at I never saw her until the 55th reunion of our class. And I was sitting at a table, and I was talking to Ronnie Bowman. And all of a sudden, I got a tap on the shoulder. And it was Peggy Richards and Esther.
Uh-huh.
They were pals.
Yeah.
They were great pals. And so we talked for a little while, you know, and I introduced him to Doris, and that was it.
Huh.
So a couple of weeks later, I told Doris, I said, you know what? We could probably catch up on a lot of stuff. We call them girls and maybe go out to breakfast or something, and we could probably catch up on quite a bit of what's going on over at Anderson.
Yeah.
Because we were both from Anderson, but
Right.
we lived at Muncie.
Yeah.
And we had caught up on what's going on. So I called Esther and made arrangements, and I don't know, once a month or once every other month, we'd meet at Bob Evans and have breakfast and talk, you know, and this sort of thing. Well, Doris passed away. Peggy passed away. And then Esther was all by herself, and I was all by myself. But that didn't matter. It was the Madison trip that done the trick.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
That's pretty
But
good.
we weren't romantically inclined
Yeah.
any place.
Well, you
And
seem
even
good.
when I told Doris, I said, we need, oh, that wasn't romantic at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were certainly a good couple for the time that I knew you.
Well, we had a lot of fun. Esther and I were married for 5 years, and she passed away, had lung cancer,
Mm.
and but we'd done a lot of traveling.
Mm.
She had, according to her, she'd never been any place. I said, well, you're going to be going places now. And so we even went to Wisconsin, spent a week up there, went fishing. Of course, Doris and I had been going up there for about 30 years,
Yeah.
every year, you know. And that was our vacation place. I knew the place. So we went back, and it had been about 5 years since I'd been up there.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show her where the Wisconsin River started.
Mm.
Well, it starts right out of a lake there, and you can walk across it. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's just a little stream. I couldn't find it. I could not find that place, and we'd been there I don't know how many times.
Huh.
It didn't have a sign in front of it anymore. It used to have a sign up there. And I drove past it I don't know how many times. Finally, I stopped at the station. I asked, where's this place? Oh, he says, it's right back up the road here. And I'd driven past it 3 or 4 times. But we walked across the Wisconsin River.
Okay. Interview we had in Monterey.
Monterey.
We passed it how many times?
Yeah.
We passed that 14 times.
Yeah, but in that 5 years, the entire landscape had changed.
Yeah.
And but we went fishing. Got out there, and I knew where the spots were, because I've been to that lake how many times. Went over there and sit down. I baited up her hook for her, dropped it in the water, and pulled out a fish.
Okay,
And I said, well,
this story.
yeah. And I said, what'd you do? She says, well, them cotton pickers won't let me put the bait in the water. And so, well, just all right. And so 50 fish later,
How many of them did you catch?
none. And I said, you could hear me all over the lake, I'm sure. I sat and laughed at her because they won't even let me get it in the water, you know, all this sort of thing. She was getting really frustrated about, well, we're going to sit for a little while. Oh, yeah. And, but she really got all upset about it, you know, and all this sort of thing. I just sat and laughed at her. I didn't even try to fish. And we had boats come up real quiet, like, you know, and they'd drift around and watch us. But I'm sure you could hear me all over the lake laughing. But she caught at least 50 fish that day. And we really, of course, we saw everything. We went up to Lake Superior, and we drove to Duluth, and we saw different. We just didn't go fishing and stay there.
Right.
But we saw the area. I took her around, so that's where we saw the baseball game. They wore snowshoes
Yeah.
and played baseball. Now that was fun. But she wanted to go see that, and so we did. We went to see that. And the main thing there didn't cost you anything to go see it. It was all outside. But the main thing the main draw to bring you to that horseshoe or that snowshoe baseball game was all the neighbors, all the women in the neighborhood would get together and bake pies. And you bought a pie, or you bought a piece of pie, or what. And so we went and had our piece of pie and watched the ball game.
Where was that?
That was in Woodruff and Minocqua area in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And this was just off of Lake Minocqua.
Okay.
And it was just south of where we stayed, maybe 20 minutes or so.
Ha.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that.
Yeah. Well, I've got some pictures of it home, but these guys, they were the ball they used was about this big around.
Mm.
So they didn't have the disadvantage of a small ball to hang on to while they was trying
Yeah.
to run from base to base.
Yeah.
And so the pitcher, he'd pitch it, and guy'd bang the thing and it'd go maybe to second base. And they'd run, and
Yeah.
they made runs. I don't know how they did it, but they made runs. And this one guy, he called time about before he got to second base. Time, he says. Looked down, and his snowshoe had halfway come off, and his foot was clear through it. But little things like that.
Now that would be a handicap.
It was an enjoyable evening.
Handicap.
That's funny. That's funny. What made Doris special? I don't know. I've never met her, so I don't know anything about her.
Well, first of all, Doris was a nurse.
Okay.
She went to St. John's, the School of Nursing.
Mm.
And from there, while she worked at St. John's in surgery, she was the scrivener. She handed the instruments to the doctor.
Right.
That's what she did. Well, after she decided she'd had enough of that, she come home, stayed home. And she said, I've had enough of nursing. I don't want more of it. I'm going to find something to do here.
Mm.
Loved to cook.
Mm.
That woman could cook anything, and you'd swear you were in a restaurant somewhere, where a
Yeah.
chef had prepared it, because that's what it looked like on the plate. She got interested in baking cakes. She loved to bake. Loved it. Her art teacher in the 2nd or 3rd grade told her she'd never amount to anything as far as art's concerned. That woman baked birthday cakes,
Yeah.
wedding cakes, anniversary cakes. She baked, we had Miller Brothers seed that lived right there at Corinth Church, and we went to church with them, knew them, all of them. Knew Perry and Roy and the whole bunch. And Perry had a birthday. And June come over and she said, I want a feed sack. I want a grain sack. I want a seed sack.
Yeah.
Okay. So she brought a seed sack over. Doris made a cake and looked just exactly like that seed sack. Just exactly. He even
Wow.
had down here at the bottom the instructions on tear here. And now she made that cake, and it was I got pictures of it someplace.
Wow.
But she made cakes for restaurants, little birthday cakes.
Yeah.
When they celebrate the birthday, why they had just a little bitty cake, And she made wedding cakes that had fountains in them.
Huh.
Bridges across for 2 different sides.
Yeah.
A lot of decorations on the bridges. This side, this cake would come down to this cake, this end, and come down to this cake
Huh.
on both sides.
Wow.
And we had a mini home, and we take these cakes. They all tore down. This is all tore down. Cakes are all decorated, ready to go together.
Yeah.
Take them up and put them in the bunk over the cab.
Mm-hmm.
Had them all laid out up there on a blanket. And my job was to carry in.
Yeah.
She set it all up.
And don't trip.
Yeah. My job was to carry in and carry out. The carry out comes later, but I carried all these cakes in and set them on the table. That's all I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And she set them up. after we got to where we were going.
Wow.
And if there was a little piece of icing that had moved, it was repaired.
Huh.
And then she got into receptions. And so for 30 years, why, we done cakes, receptions, and all that sort of thing. All of our daughters helped us. Everybody had a job. And then the grandkids come along and they done chores, like fill the pickle jar. You know, had pickles out on the table, fill that. Only you lay them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the silverware had to be laid out. Now that's what the grandkids did, see. And they knew that that's what they did. And they got paid for it. They got paid.
Yeah.
But the whole family got involved in this thing. And it was a fun job. I done the driving. I delivered. I took stuff in, which included crystal plates and cups,
Yeah.
all that fancy stuff. She had a gold set of silverware and a gold coffee pot, gold creamers and sugar. Silver also for the golden wedding anniversary, for the silver wedding anniversary. She had all of this stuff. And we could go someplace and set it up, have a good time.
Wow. What a very
But that's
talented
what we
woman.
done. That's what we done for 35 years, I think it was.
I'm sitting here listening, and I'm thinking about how I would be less nervous driving a truck full of nitroglycerin than I would those cakes.
Well, let's just say that she wouldn't let anybody else drive but me.
I'd be scared to death. I'd tear them up.
Oh, the farthest cake we delivered away was in Joliet, Illinois, and it was a cousin.
Yeah.
And they were getting married up there, and they wanted Doris to make the cake. So from Muncie to Joliet, we took that cake out. But we had a pillow underneath all this stuff, you know, and it sat there. That cake just sat there. It didn't even bounce.
Wow. Well, she sounded like a very talented woman.
She was.
Quite a remarkable woman.
She was. She could. Like I say. If you wanted something made special,
Yeah.
she could do it.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Just
That's
something
all,
like
that's
that.
all
Yeah.
right.
Well, I guess now I know why you're not 118 pounds anymore.
Yeah, I don't like cake. My favorite is pie. You know, it got so, it was funny. If we had a cancellation or something and she already had cakes made, the neighbors right next door, Kenny Jackson, he had 3 boys. They had 3 boys.
Yeah.
And we just take cake down and give it to them and say, here, have cake. Boy, that cake was gone in no time at all. We always had a dog at our house. Always had a dog. Either somebody dropped one off or somebody gave it to me. And the dogs wouldn't even eat the cake after that. They got tired of it. You know. But no, she was very talented, and that's what she liked to do.
Yeah.
You got 5 on this tape.
Yeah. Was there anything else about your life story you would like to get on here?
I think we pretty well covered everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we pretty well covered everything. I probably rambled on where I shouldn't have.
No. That's exactly what we're looking for. You really hit the mark. Yeah. Well, you had a great parents, grandparents, great childhood.
Oh yeah.
Your education was different and very, very good, and Army experience was terrific.
Oh yeah.
And great family, and a couple of terrific wives. You've been a very fortunate man.
I have been.
Yeah.
I have been. And at 90 years old, I'm just glad to be anywhere. I'm like George Burns. You know?
Amen to that one.
Well, we always ask our veterans to say a few words for posterity. You got any words of wisdom or personal philosophy that's kind of carried you through life?
Well, my philosophy all my life has been by myself. Driving a truck, you don't have somebody go with you to tell you where to go and what to do. And I've been pretty much of a loner.
Yeah.
And I contribute that to my health. Never been sick. I don't get sick
Yeah.
because I don't go around where people are, really.
Yeah.
And you probably noticed I'm involved in this Brianna's Hope. I don't eat
Yeah.
what's there. And it's not because that person's not a good cook. It's because I don't eat a lot of stuff away from home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
I get that.
and other than that, why, live your life, have a good time, enjoy it. And if you got somebody to argue with, that's even better.
Well, Specialist Lawson, I want to thank you for this interview and for your service to our country and for just being a downright good guy.
Yeah, thank